Hello, everyone, and welcome to the August Clash Europe semifinals between King of Jokes and Aethusium. And my special guest co-host today is the famous super commentator, Mr. RG Commander.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for the welcome, Zergel. This is the Commander reporting for duty, here to discuss what will be happening in the semifinals of the August Clash. And yes, we are resolving the August Clash in October. That's just the way that the schedules have lined up, but we have two very exciting players here, very high-level players in both Aethusium and King of Jokes, ready to rock and roll here for us. So as soon as we flip the victory cards over, we're going to get right into the game and watch what these two players do.
Yeah, so what we are going to see is Aethusium with a full Nupten deck, and on the other hand, in green, of course, Mr. King of Jokes with a nearly totally green deck, only Akimo joining his team. So now that we flipped the victory conditions, we're going to see the coin flip.
Is heads. So we have absolutely no idea who called it, but it looks like King of Jokes took the coin, so I guess he's making the choice here. So King of Jokes brought the Dark Vigilante as his outsider, and Aethusium bringing the OG outsider as his outsider of choice here. So it looks like Aethusium has been selected or has selected to go first. And based on that, I'm going to suggest that King of Jokes chose to go second, as we do see Aethusium's outsider being brought to the field.
Okay, so I'm just hovering over the victory conditions. We've got Skytier Master, Tactician, and Right Breach.
All right, so we have three control objectives in a deck that in two decks actually that look pretty bloodthirsty. As you mentioned, Aethusium's mono yellow deck. This is the same one for anyone who tuned in to the semifinals of the September qualifier last night. We won't spoil how that resolved, but this was the same list that he ran last night, I believe, and that was a very bloody, very exciting game. Please do tune into that one if you haven't seen it yet. And as Zergel did bring up, King of Jokes' deck is mono green except for Akimo, and we do know that Akimo is a very aggressive hero. He's carrying 3 Burning Rages plus an Unstoppable, and so we could expect to see quite a few frenzy plays as the rounds go on.
That's for sure. The problem is that maybe only killing heroes won't help you that much
Correct.
in this, let's say, control-only match. Okay, so on Kick's side, we see Tlakali, Kotlik, Ishatosk, and Nelaklen, and we are just missing the last hero on Aethusium's side. So there is Akuti, Shafati, and Ekrit. And let's see what will be the last pick.
So with the drafting of Ishatosk and Kotlik, we do see that there are a couple points of armor on the field. So Akali is well carrying an armor. So it is nice to see Shafathi there as the mage. I think that if we bring Satheru, that might be overkill. 2 mages here. There's not a whole ton of armor that you would need double piercing for in this situation. So that might set him up for a little bit of a squishy team. He could potentially bring in Habarat if he wanted to try and make a quick play on Nelaklen. Again, as you did mention, killing heroes would not be super advantageous in this map other than the whole dead heroes cannot lead. And just as I say that, I'm going to be proven totally wrong. We are going to see a double mage lineup, which means that Aethusium will put Kenwi and... Oh my god, I have a brain fart. Who was it? Oh, Akuti. Kenwi and Akuti will be on the bench there. Or excuse me, Kenwi and Habarat, not Akuti. Yeah. Kenwi and Habarat will be on the bench for him. And then Akimo and Akla will be on the bench for King of Jokes.
So,
all right, so here we go.
Maybe we just have a look into the options that both are bringing now in their decks.
Indeed.
So
So let's.
on Aethusium's side, he now should have a 1.44 average modifier and a 1.75 average mana. And he's bringing in 3 charms, 2 times Doom, 2 times Exhaustion, 2 times Ice Wall, 3 times Nightmares Incarnate, 3 Presence, 2 Psychic Shield, 2 Redirect, 2 Refract, 3 times Shatter Mind, and 1 Soul Scream only, 3 times Swiftness. Okay,
Ooh, okay.
okay. So, King.
Now, interestingly enough, as we did see the mulligan going down there, it looks like King of Jokes has thrown away three mana cards. He put away both the Thousandth Ritual and Consulting the Heart, both Nelliclin and Tilakali's Ultimate, as
Okay.
well as one of his sinkholes. So it looks like he probably drew a bunch of 3 mana lead cards in his opening hand, because otherwise you would at least save 1 or 2 of those to serve as a lead to get an early control of the dome or the lane of your choice.
Yeah. So, just a second. So looking at the stats on King's deck right now with this Hero Constellation, there's a 1.00 average modifier and a 2.22 average mana. So
Ooh,
in total, he brings, let's see, 13 cards that have 3 mana on it. So that's a lot of control.
yes.
And the deck list has Call the Pack 2 times, 1 Chasm, 1 Dragon Punch, 3 times Grey Knight Skin, 1 time Guide, 1 Lifesteal, 2 times Law of the Many, 3 times Presence, 3 times Rampant Hatred, 3 times Sinkhole, 3 times Skytid Rain, 2 Slide,
Sky Drain.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
2 times Slide, and 3 times Stone Barricade.
Okay. Very nice. Meanwhile, for the opening turn there, we did see that Aethusium did a fairly standard Ekrit opening, move her into the dome, summon her illusion token, and then proceed to laser down 1 line of minions. So we see now that in control zone number 1, there are no minions left over for the King of Jokes, and King of Jokes is going to respond similarly with sending Ishatosk over to our left lane, his right lane, summoning a pillar and leading from the hand.
So what Aethusium negated was the classic opening from Tlakali, which would go out to the lane and protect her minions with worshipping, summoning a pillar near the own minions.
Yes. Meanwhile, it looks like Takali, our first card of the game, Takali is going to play a stone barricade right in front of her.
Yeah,
Uh, I
yes, which absolutely makes sense because now she can protect the minions on lane number 2. Yeah, lane number 2.
all right. Yep, there we go. We see the HP down from her and keeping those minions safe, as you mentioned. Going to finish the round off then with a lead from Cytheru, and we'll pass it back over to the King of Jokes. Now, interestingly, go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, Cytheru is actually fairly far forward for this early into the round here. It is obviously only round 1, so I don't think we'll see any super heavy aggression here, but he is positioned in such a way that Kotlik could get next to him. Nelliclin could then open up to rain some fire in round 2 or at the end of round 1 there. So he does need to make sure that he has a response ready if King of Jokes decides to go hostile under the mantra of dead heroes can't lead.
Yeah, it's a very true point. But it's always quite card intensive to get those kills in round 1 or round 2.
Yes. And look, now that I look at it here, there aren't any really direct damage cards in King of Jokes deck that would make that. So that would probably be a lot of AP spent on attack actions, skirmish actions.
Yeah.
There is interesting to note though, Nelliclin, as you mentioned earlier when you were reviewing the cards, Nelliclin does bring 3 times Rampant Hatred, which means that you could set up for a turn 2 Rampant Hatred with that pillar's positioning next to the control zone. The Nelliclin ability does allow you to cast spells through the removed pillar, which essentially enables you to teleport Nelliclin using the Rampant Hatred, an interaction that we recently kind of saw come to light and the developers confirmed is in fact a valid play. So Nelliclin doesn't actually have to be anywhere in the area. And then you remove the pillar. All of a sudden, Nelliclin can functionally teleport there. Since Rampant Hatred is executing a skirmish action, he would be able to move to next to the bush, see Setheru, and then start wailing on him with enhanced skirmish attacks.
Yeah.
But of course, that is a turn 2 play.
But I think it won't be possible for King as he isn't player number 1, first player.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That does, of course, require the flux, which he doesn't have.
Yes.
Oops.
But he could, if there are still minions alive, he could play this with a lot of the many. So at the moment that he has line of sight to minions, then he plays that card, gets +1 per friendly minion for the next skirmish action. So playing this even possible 2 times with the removal of a pillar.
Yes, and that would give enough damage that you could start to lay on some pain onto the target of your choice. All right, meanwhile, we start to see some blood going on here. Tlakali is actually taking a lot of damage here. Shafathi going in for the attack option there will do piercing damage and bypass her armor. So she's down to 7 now, which means it's going to become a little bit more difficult to start protecting those minions unless she heals.
Yeah. Did he play? I think he played a swiftness, correct? Because he moved.
He did play swiftness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. The swiftness is very useful because you gain fast and you also draw a card.
Yes.
So you don't lose anything besides the mana spent on the character.
Yep. Very useful for cycling through your deck quickly. Since it functionally is just, as you mentioned, you're paying 1 mana to, at the end of the day, give your hero fast and no other cost, since you play a card and draw a card.
Yeah.
Very nice there. Now, Shafathi, out there, he's a little bit more exposed, but Shafathi has 18 hit points, so we're not quite as worried about him being as far forward on the battlefield. He has a little bit more durability than does a Setheru. And if if Akuti comes around and summons her illusion token, you can give +1 to any projected hero within the line of sight of that token, which could then further augment his ability to take a few hits on the front line.
Yeah. That's true. And she's one of the heroes that is capable to kill 2 minions with only 1 attack action.
That is correct. And interestingly enough, you don't even, unlike a lot of heroes that kind of have that kill a minion, affect another minion ability, Akuti doesn't even need to kill the first minion, which means Tlakali can't prevent the second minion's damage just because she kept the first one alive. The Akuti ability resolves whenever you resolve an attack action, you may then affect 1 minion that is adjacent to the Akuti illusion. So you can always target 2 minions with Akuti's ability. And with 7 HP, it seems unlikely Tlakali would be able to protect both minions from such a play.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that if it was my Tlakali. It's really always a hard decision to make if you take the damage, or let's say the HP loss, just to keep 1 or 2 minions in play.
Indeed. All right. Looks like, meanwhile, Nelliclin coming in to join the battlefield here. Nelliclin skirmishes into the dome, lays down some damage on Ekrit, dropping her down to 12 hit points. Oh, and there's a presence from Akuti. Excellent. So with this presence here, unless King of Jokes responds with another presence, which I don't think he can. Oh, no, he can. It is possible. No, he can't because presence is a 2 mana. Yep. Yeah. So in this situation, as long as Akuti goes into the dome, Aethusium is guaranteed round 1 dome. Because, well, again, assuming that his lead from the oh no, I'm sorry. Akuti would have to lead with a 3-mana card to guarantee the dome.
Yeah, because Kotlik still needs to activate.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, using a lead on the right lane, so lane number 1, another lead doesn't make sense, I think. So yeah, the best
Mm-hmm.
option would be to, as you said, move into the dome.
Mm-hmm.
So what's he going to do? Okay, he's going to
Move,
attack.
attack Nelliclin, and lead, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Plus 2 on the
now he
damage.
flips one of the cards that he saw, I think.
Yes. And finally, the last bit here, I would assume he would lead because as it stands right now, Nelliclin has led from the hand in the dome, so we assume that that's probably a +3, so that's 4. So currently the control value would be 3 to 4 in King of Jokes' favor. So I assume Makuti's final action here is going to be to lead. Otherwise, it seems there it is. Yep. Otherwise, it would seem a little bit weird to waste the flex presence turn 1 if you weren't going to lead from hand and guarantee yourself the dome. All right. So the question now is, does Kotlik move into the dome knowing that you lose the dome just to continue laying damage down on, say, Ekrit, for example, who's already weak? Or do you send Kotlik over to one of the 2 lanes to start getting one of those pushing?
Oh, there goes a
Okay.
Grenade Skin. So as he is line of sight to a pillar, he already has 2 armor. So it's now a 3+ skirmish.
All
So
right.
there's a
So,
move. I think he's going out on his right lane, skirmishing
he's going
against.
for
Oh,
Setheru.
okay.
Okay. +0 on the flip, but still, that's some
3
good damage
damage.
there.
So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
And that's the danger of bringing Setheru that far forward is people can get after him. And now this skirmish and attack, this attack will do 3 plus the flip here. Setheru is going to be in
4.
single
Okay.
digit HP here. Double digit damage there, down to 7.
Mm.
Or not double digit damage, I guess that would be 7 total. But nevertheless, Setheru at half HP. Now that's going to be the end of the round, so let's go ahead and resolve here. We will see that the dome goes over. Shafathi did lead with a 3. That's not surprising. Tilakali did lead from the deck there with a +3 as well. So that's going to be a 1-point advantage for Aethusium. He does have 1 minion remaining.
Yeah.
And so that's 1 tactician point for Aethusium there. Over in lane 2, it looks like King of Jokes should win that with a lead from Ishatosk plus a second hero there. And then, of course, as we mentioned, the dome is going to go to Aethusium as well. So that looks like, unless something comes out that surprises me, we should end up with +3 leads from both of them. Very good. There we go. We should end up with 2 points Tactician for Aethusium, 1 point for King of Jokes, and 1 point Sky Tier Master for Aethusium at the end of the round.
Yeah.
Also worth noting that each lane that the players won was their right lane breach. So each player is now within striking distance of the right breach victory condition. Something that the players will have to be concerned about, making sure that they defend their towers before other victory conditions can be resolved, as both Tactician and Sky Tier Master are a minimum of 2 rounds away from being fulfilled.
Yeah. So I'm
And
just
now,
okay.
go ahead.
Another error.
Yep.
So there's something with the HUD. So let's see if this works. I'm just moving this around to reset it. Okay, no. Now Tlakali is at 17, which isn't correct.
Nope, that's definitely not right.
Okay, didn't work. But maybe it has been caused because King was spawning, trying to spawn his deck, but it was the wrong deck, so he spawned the wrong deck. I think 2 times or 3 times, looking for the correct deck, and then we had 20 hero tokens. So maybe that's causing those problems now, as they maybe aren't connected correctly now.
Mm-hmm.
So we will update you, the views, on the actual HP from the heroes, if it doesn't work in the overlay as it seems right now.
Well, we definitely know that Neliclin's HP is accurate, as Neliclin just took an attack from the outsider, reducing his HP fairly low, actually. At this point, Neliclin needs to be aware, because with a skirmish action, that opens him up to an easy kill. Aethusium does go first, which means that Cytheru or Akuti or Eckert or Shafathi, really any of the heroes, can go ahead and attack him. So that was the shockwave effect there, pushing Neliclin back over 2 hexes. So I'm wondering if the last one will be. I think the last one was just use the draw a card power there. So that's going to be the outsider's turn. And Neliclin with 6 HP is a pretty easy kill target when you've got this kind of a lineup.
Yeah, sure.
So in this situation, I hate to say it, but I think Cytheru is not long for this world. So if I'm Aethusium, I think you just kind of sandbag it and let Cytheru die before you activate him. That way he's back for round 3, the ultimates round, and maybe just use one of the other 3 heroes to ensure that Neliclin dies. Now the question is, does Aethusium want to let Neliclin survive to round 3? Based off the fact that we see an attack right off the bat, the answer is no.
Oh,
however, we do see a slide. Oh.
I don't know what has been.
Shafathi was activated, and so it looks like Shafathi was going to attack Tilakali. So we are actually going to leave Neliclin alive for the moment.
Yeah, there's being attack declared. Okay, so that attack fizzles because I don't see any options in Aethusium's deck to prevent that.
Correct. So Shafathi will be slid into the dome there, negating that attack. He does still have 2 options left. Looks like he's going to worship to summon the Shafathi illusion token, which is very nice. The illusion token allowing for some predict and swapping shenanigans from heroes. Projected heroes are allowed to predict whenever they declare skirmish actions, and Shafathi himself is able to swap positions with his illusion upon the resolution of a skirmish action.
Which maybe he knows thinking about? Maybe?
That could very easily be the case. I think if he positions that a little bit backwards, that would allow him to come up, smack Neliclin, and then kind of hide away. Although this is a little bit more forward of a placement, so obviously he's not concerned about running away with Shafathi. So I wonder if he's trying to set up a barricade using the heroes to limit King's movement within the dome. That seems to be the strategy here.
Yeah. So, okay, he declares a skirmish. The thing is,
so
you don't know where he's going to move. Okay, he's moving onto his illusion.
Interesting. Okay, and the +2 on the flip, so 2 damage to nope, that's Tilakali's token. 2 damage to Neliclin.
Yeah. He's down to 4.
He is, which means that Neliclin does die, I think, on the next activation. Given that Cytheru is in the game, there's 3 Shatterminds, 3 Nightmares Incarnates in Aethusium's deck. I find it difficult to believe he doesn't have at least 1 copy of one of those cards, which will do 3 damage to Neliclin. So I feel like Neliclin is about to go bye-bye.
Yeah, the thing is just waiting for Neliclin to activate, maybe.
Yes, I agree. I think that he's trying to get Neliclin to have to revive.
You just negate a whole activation just by 1 card.
I wonder if we take Ishatosk and put him back on like this.
Yeah, I tried that, but I wasn't successful.
Work. Okay. Sometimes that's the magic of, you turn something off, turn it back on, it's fixed. Sometimes it works like that with the mod. Unlucky. All right.
Okay.
No, it doesn't look like it. All right. Well, Kotlik and Ishatosk will keep you updated on what their hit points are. Right now, they both are at maximum, not at 0 as the would suggest. So we apologize for that, and we blame Giacomo for whatever he did to break the bond.
Of course. So Even the or neither the outsider has been updated in the overlay. So yeah,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, down in the left corner, it
yeah.
seems that the outsider doesn't show.
Okay, King is still thinking as he maybe assumes the same. If I'm going
Yes.
to activate Nilaklen, he'll die for sure.
Yes.
So um, the thing is, uh, the Shafati illusion helps both Akuti and Akrit now. They can just
Yes.
resolve skirmish damage against Nelaklen and then move out to the right lane to push there.
Indeed.
Okay, there's
All
a
right. This
skirmish
is a
by
Ishatosk.
Ishatos. Yeah, okay,
Okay.
why not?
Looks like we're going to target Shafathi. Makes sense. Shafathi doesn't have any armor, so this will deal whatever the flip damage is. Although he's not flipping yet, was there some sort of a response? Although it should have been played at the declaration of the skirmish.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't think there's a possible way to negate the skirmish before because he's not in
Right.
line of sight. He's
Mhm.
outside the dome.
Correct.
And
Uh,
for example, Thetheru can't see him.
yep. And there's no like sky tier discharge that he might want to play to get Ishatosk as Ishatosk crosses into the dome or anything. So, hmm. Yeah. Although Ishatosk has been returned to his original position, so
Hmm.
what's the strategy here?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh,
Maybe what am I trading for? Am I trading the one hero for another, or
mm. Yeah, because as it stands, Ishatosk could get to Cytheru with a skirmish and with a move action, um, regardless of whether he finished right where he did originally or, oh, okay, so we're actually going to activate Nalaklan. Okay, or no, that's Telekali, excuse me.
that's Lakali? Yeah.
Telekali's yep, she's going to activate.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. She's using her warship action and flipping a 3, which heals
Mm,
Nelaklin back to HP, 8
yep,
HP. Wow, super. Um, so with her, let's say, active warship skill, she destroys a pillar, and a hero that is adjacent to that pillar gets 1 plus a card life back. So
yep,
that's quite nice healing effect.
yes. And luckily for him on the flip there, that was a +3 on the flip, so maximum possible healing. So Nalaklan still in danger of being run down, but with 8 HP, it will take a little bit more of commitment to kill him off.
Okay, he's going to move with Tlakali.
Okay.
Okay, running like a chicken.
All
Yeah,
right.
or
Moves over
just
there. I assume attack or a lead action here.
yeah.
Pick off one of the minions. Looks like we're pinging that minion down there, perhaps for.
Yeah,
Yep, there we go. Okay.
there it is. Okay.
And a +2. Very dead minion.
hmm
Okay, so that was actually a very solid play. So now that's going to disincentivize running Nelaklan down immediately. Certainly, he's still a very viable target, as I mentioned, with only 8 hit points. Um, easily nukable, but it will require probably just a bit more commitment. You'll need to commit an action point or 2 plus a power card in order to take him out. So I would say this might be a good time for Cytheru to activate and perhaps move into the dome and then skirmish to the point where he's behind Ekrit and Akuti, although that does leave the lane open to a massive push from King of Jokes, so that may not be the safest play after all. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, but okay. I think the positioning, for example, from Takali is very good because you can't
Mm-hmm.
push her out of the control token with Acrid, for example.
Correct.
So that was a nice idea to corner her, let's say.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then
And in addition to that, the pillar is positioned such that both of those minions can be protected if she so chooses.
Yeah, and in that way, she has also the possibility to protect the minions on the other lane. At
Yes,
least two of them. So the
yes,
one on the control point is missing, but this pillar also helps Kotlik to have one more armor, so he's at 2 armor. Okay, which doesn't help against Setheru, that's obvious, but against Akuti or Akrit maybe.
correct. Both of the ranged heroes that are not Cythero, I guess technically speaking, Cythero is also a ranged hero. All right, speaking of which, Cythero is going to activate. All right, so Cythero is going to play Swiftness. Okay, so that means my prediction is we're going after Nalaklan. Because otherwise, I don't see the point in playing Swiftness. You could just
Okay,
move in. So let's see, where are we going to go? We are going to run away from dying,
with
I assume.
Setheru. Yes, with Setheru gaining fast.
So,
I don't know. You could just have skirmished into the dome, dealing damage, and then doing
mhm.
an attack if you want to kill him by with actions, and then
so
play. So I don't know.
so what I'm going to assume is he's going to move into the dome onto the far right edge, right there, like so. He's
Yeah,
going to attack Nalaklan with a skirmish, or he's going to use a power card, attack Nalaklan with a skirmish, and then skirmish over to influence the control zone in the right lane.
yeah.
I think is,
So
is the play here.
there's an attack. Let's see what's
Okay,
available.
+1
Okay,
on the damage there.
so 4 damage.
So very good on that heal. Otherwise, that would have been enough to kill Nalaklan there. So I assume we're probably going to see
Yeah, if we see
power
the
card here.
yeah, if you see the warship before,
Yes, worship
then
would also be an
yeah,
effective call there. Or, I mean, he could just play the Shattermind and then skirmish for the final damage. That would also work. And then that would give the bonus effect of allowing Cytheru to go and affect the. Is that control? I forget. Is that control zone 1 over here? That is control zone 1. Yeah.
yeah,
Affect control zone 1 in the right lane and pretty much guarantee that Cytheru is not going to die. Takali has already activated. Zakol and Ishatosk probably not going to make their way the whole way across the map there. And so Cytheru would be relatively safe. Now, that being
So
said,
yeah, so the question
hmm,
is what will be the plan? Will be the plan to
right,
just try to take out one of the heroes to gain an advantage in, let's say, one of the control points, so
hmm,
everything is valuable. As you have
yes,
tactician on board, so every control point you win is valuable to get closer to the victory.
yes. And Aethusium already does have 1 point on Sky Tier Master. So if he's able to make an easy claim in the dome, that would put King of Jokes on the defensive, and King of Jokes would have to fight for the dome in round 3, as that would be the game point for Sky Tier Master. Um,
Yeah, you must not
so
lose that in round 3
yeah,
then. Yeah, that's
you
true.
you can tie it, but you can't lose it.
Yeah.
And so, oh, we see a +3 coming out. So
Ooh.
Nelliclin down to 1. There we go.
Yeah.
So I assume that was the skirmish action. Okay. So I'm assuming he doesn't have a Shattermind because there was no way for that skirmish to kill him as it was. So the shot. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense because the way line of sight works, the white line from the dome does divide your nexus region in half, which means from that position, the only squares that Cytheru can be seen from would be the cover hex and the hex directly to the right of the nexus zone. So in that position, very, very unlikely for any way of King of Jokes' hero to get to Cytheru.
Hmm. Yeah, you could activate Nelaklen and just move out of the dome on the right lane,
Yes.
and then you have got line of sight, but
Yes. Well, that was, yeah.
yeah,
So if Nalaklan activates, that's where I think we might see the reaction kill,
yeah.
which is why I didn't mention it. I think that there's a Nightmare Incarnate in hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that one of those 3 is ready to kill off Nalaklan as soon as he tries to do anything.
Yeah. And then the whole activation is lost.
Correct. He will respawn in round 3 as he wouldn't have exhausted by that point, but nevertheless, as you mentioned, the entire activation does essentially fizzle.
So, and let's see, we only have one possibility for King of Jokes to gain life points through
Mm-hmm.
the card Lifesteal. And that's the thing now. Nelaklan now at the moment isn't able to play it because there is no pillar in line of sight. So
Correct.
if Nelaklan would have a pillar in line of sight, so he could even play red cards or yellow cards.
Mm-hmm.
His mana runes are green, of course, and blue, but his special talent or skill, passive skill, let's say, by having line of sight on a pillar, so he's able to cast other cards.
Indeed. Now, which would be very useful. Oh no, never mind. Those were in a chemo's deck, so that wouldn't have appeared.
Yeah, I know. So maybe a stone barricade could help out, so you don't use your warship
Mm-hmm.
action, and in that
That
moment
that
you
is
can.
possible.
But I think as well as you are thinking the way that there's a direct damage card in hand on Aethusium's side, so he just waits for Nelaklan to activate.
Okay. Also, we've had an idea real fast here. They said if we pick up the hero card and then put it back down, that would fix the HP if we did that. No, no, it does not. Okay. I'm going to stop messing around with their game before someone comes in here and smacks me.
Okay,
That
now
was a
it's
suggestion.
okay. Now it's official. We are live more than 35 minutes.
Excellent. we did it. All right. For anyone who's wondering what that was about, the last game that Zarago and I did together was a very, very quick match that ended in 35 minutes. It essentially ended in turn 2 on the first hero activation. One of the players conceded because in turn 1, his opponent just set up an unbelievably oppressive opening. And the player concluded that there was absolutely no chance to come back. So rather than just prolong the inevitable, he just conceded immediately. And so Zaragol and I were just getting into discussion, and then, oh, we're done.
Yeah. Why did he disappear from TTS? So that left some question marks, and yeah, then we got the message that he conceded.
Yes. So we have finally broken the 35-minute barrier. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
All right, King of Jokes is thinking, and very important for him to do thinking here because he is in a position where one poor step is going to probably make a huge swing in the board state. Right now, it's relatively stable, but with both Cytheru and Nelaklan very low, one of those two is probably going to be dead, if not both of them, before the end of this round, and that's going to result in a huge momentum swing whenever we see these heroes start going down.
Absolutely. And yeah, there's still Akrit and Akuti. The both control heroes are left to activate. So Aethusium is keeping these option a bit, or has been keeping these options because I think he tries to react on what King is going to do now, because
Mm-hmm.
he has to protect, or King has to protect his own left lane, or let's say just control token number 1, because this is the right breach condition.
Mm-hmm.
On the same time, trying to do some pressure on the other lane. Ah, okay, we
Okay.
now finally see an activation. So,
A
okay,
little bit of skirmish damage.
yeah, Ishatos is resolving a skirmish and dealing
Now
some damage.
worship. Oh, I wonder. Oh, there it is. They were about to taxi him away, and
Yeah,
Shafathi says,
okay,
absolutely not.
yeah, not with
Down
me
comes
today.
down comes the Nightmare Incarnate that I suspected was in hand. Nalaklan will be ejected from the battlefield here. Of course, no points gained towards the victory conditions, as none of those are kill conditions. But nevertheless, that is still one less activation. And now the worship action resolves. And so we put a nice grave marker to remember Nalaklan. Rest in peace.
Yes. And he positions Ishatosk in a way that he can't be reached that easily on that lane. Okay, and
Yes.
there goes some
Oh,
presence. So
okay. So very nice.
pretty important. So you
Yes.
you put pressure on the right lane.
Yes.
That's obvious. That's his point of, or let's say his strategy to maybe get the victory.
So in this situation here, Ishatosk provides two control. Who's that? Is that Kotlik? Yeah, it was Kotlik. Kotlik provides up. So we have three there plus four minions. That's seven plus a lead. So there's a potential 10 control value um,
Hmm.
from the green team there. So if Kotlik goes and kills a minion, that threatens tower destruction if Aethusium does nothing to respond. So I very much suspect we're going to
Yeah.
see Akuti go over there with her illusion to not only provide a hero's presence, but also use her illusion to knock off a couple of the green minions.
Yeah. This is the point where you have to start with math.
Yes.
So really counting how many points am I doing here, or for the control value with how many points am I giving, how many points I assume the opponent has on his side. So this is really the tactical point.
So one of the interesting things here also
Yeah.
to note, due to the fact that Nalaklan is now dead, that is actually going to give Aethusium the final activation, which means he can wait to see if Kotlik is going to come challenge for the dome. I don't think that's likely, given that all
Yeah.
Aethusium has to do is just bunch his heroes and lead with one of them in order to keep control of the dome. So I would, in this case, it feels to me like Akuti might be the correct activation. Um, just because you can then go and support your left lane and prevent the right breach there. So we do see Ekrid activating. Ekrid is also another good choice here, as she also has the same clearance abilities. Okay. Oh, with a swiftness. So with a swiftness here, Ekrid is actually going to be able to get in position to attack three minions
Hmm.
with swiftness. So that I like this a lot.
Three.
Summon your illusion right in front of you. You're able to be within range 3 of the control token to influence it, but also laser down 3 of those minions, and that will significantly decrease King's pressure against the right breach attempt. So there we go. We see the move towards the back of the field there. Very good. Illusion's going to come down right there on that hex in between
Six.
her and the minions, and bye-bye 3 minions.
Only two, I think, because you have to draw a line. So
Mm-hmm. And so it catches all 4 of them, doesn't it?
yeah,
Or,
but
or am I one short?
two, two minions only that are being attacked by the illusion.
Oh, right, because we don't. No, according to the diagram, it shows 4. Am I misinterpreting this diagram?
Yeah, it's four, but okay, one, two. Okay,
Because
I
you
I
don't need
didn't
you
I
don't need
didn't
line of
see
sight.
the minion in the bush. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
I missed
Okay,
that.
no problem.
So it's three.
No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
No problem. I've made enough mistakes that I thought I might be misinterpreting that AOE. So we do see Kotlik responding with a stone barricade. So my guess is there are 3 3 pillars here for the Talit. So Kotlik might be charging up for some sort of a very powerful skirmish action here. He might save it till turn 3 when he can combine that with the rampant hatred and then set up potentially killing 2 heroes during his activation. Um,
Mm.
He's
He's going
okay.
to protect at least the
Yes,
two minions.
correct. Because so the stone pillar, because of the stack, the stone pillar will actually appear prior to the illusion being summoned. The worship action goes on the stack first, then the
Yeah.
stone barricade. The illusion cannot be summoned in a zone that has a a
Uh,
token or a pillar in it, which means, yep,
he's pinging a lot. Okay, so
yes.
that's what he was intending. I don't know how this is going to work because let's say the warship action already resolved, maybe,
Well,
but
so the
but
worship, yeah,
both have to, let's say, agree or set this up, I think. Get this
right.
right.
This is
So,
going to
but
be a case.
the idea would be perfect. Yeah, true.
So let's see. I'm skimming through the rule book here. So interestingly enough, in the Talit pillars, when it says the following, that you can place a friendly pillar token. Obviously, this is for the worship action. Place a friendly pillar token on a target hex without miniatures or tokens. We don't have that same restriction for the Nipton illusion. It says when a hero resolves a worship action, optionally place their illusion token next to the hero's current hex, then move the illusion. Oh, never mind. It's in the next sentence. There we go.
Yeah, you
Illusions
can't.
must.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. There we go.
So
Whoever formatted this,
I think
we were right.
yeah, King wanted to do this
Mhm.
to block the illusion. That would have been
Yes.
perfect, yeah. But I
Yeah,
think
that would have done it.
they ended up in agreeing that he was too late with his idea.
Yes.
So
Yeah, because that would have been a brilliant plan because that
yeah,
pillar would have prevented the illusion from being able to spawn or finish in that hex and thus prevent the Ekrit wind blast
yeah.
or wind barrier, whatever it's. I forget what the
Hmm.
name of her ability is. Wind barrier. Okay, it is wind barrier. So, with that being said, King of Jokes' control over Control Zone 2 significantly diminished. I believe he still has a small lead there, given the presence and the Ishatosk flip. But Aethusium no longer needs to worry about his tower potentially exploding.
That's true.
All right, so with that being said, that I think, Kotlik's getting caught up there on the outsider's hand. The outsider, notorious in TTS for being very bad with its hitboxes and causing all sorts of shenanigans. So Kotlik is going to go in. Kotlik is going to try to minimize the effect here, do some sort of tower damage, as I believe that he thinks Right Breach is his only way to victory now.
Yeah. So Tapeworm mentioned that the pillar placement inside the dome couldn't have been that way because Nelaklen was still, let's say, before targeting the hex. You have to target a
Yes.
hex where you place a pillar.
Yes.
Before you resolve the worship action, and then the pillar couldn't have been placed there. But I think that's not changing the game now. I think so.
Right.
We just
Well, that also I think it's a little bit beyond. We've had a number of material actions take place since then, but that is yes, that is worth noting. Okay, so that being said, Kotlik does go for the skirmish, attack, and worship. So I do think that we are setting up to see a turn 3 rampant hatred Kotlik supernova run and try to just kill everybody. We'll see what happens here. So Akuti is going to come over here.
Yeah.
I assume she's going to destroy the pillar because at this point, after Ekrit's great win, okay, she's going to attack the final minion. That makes sense.
I mean, Tlakali is at 7 HP, so I don't think that King is going to take any of the damage.
No, I would agree with that. So that's all the minions removed. So now, interestingly enough, with 2 minions remaining, 3 heroes over there, the control zone is about equal there. And so then all of King's heroes have activated, which means Shafathi basically gets free reign to do whatever he wants. I'm interested to see what he does. Here's an idea. He can move over, skirmish and attack Tilakali, and then teleport back inside the dome using his illusion. So he can
the next
potentially
round,
kill her.
you think?
Yeah, that could be a possible setup there for what he might be doing.
Yeah. Okay. Now they're resolving the lanes.
Yep.
So there's
Control zone 1.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Only 1 point.
Yep. That would kill off 1 minion, so the minions there will just respawn like normal there for Aethusium. Gives him 1 point on Tactician. For King, over in lane 2, now we have to do some math here. Depends on what the leads are. So we have Akuti, who led with a 3. Okay, so Ishatosk. I think that was a predicted lead, I believe, using the presence. So
2.
2 there.
Okay,
Okay.
2, 4, 5. So, okay.
Okay. So Aethusium is now safe from right breach for at least 2 rounds.
7. Yeah. Whew.
Oh boy, that's 4. Okay, so now King is in trouble here because Aethusium is also going to gain a control point for the Sky Tier Master. Oh, they already counted that. Never mind. I'm sorry. Okay, so the score for Tactician, 4 Tactician points and 2 on the Sky Tier Master for Aethusium. So game point on the Sky Tier Master victory condition and 2 points away on Tactician. So King of Jokes really going to have to make some bold plays during this round. Telekali going to take the attack from the outsider here.
Whew.
Yikes. So she's under fire. Probably going to die next round, very likely. As we mentioned, there's that possibility of a play from Shafathi, move over, skirmish, and then teleport back into the dome after killing her.
Yeah, it's a possible way.
Now, what else are you going to do? So the outsider does allow friendly heroes to take worship actions, but it does have to target that hero. And so the only hero that the outsider can target is Shafathi. So that doesn't seem to be something that you'd want to do, I don't think. You could, I guess, shockwave it for piercing damage against Telekali. So that looks like what we're going to do there. +1 on the flip. So she's going to take 1 point of damage there. And then I suspect probably just draw a card for the last one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Given that Telekali is not in a bush, she's not hidden, so as soon as Shafathi can see her, he can just simply nuke her with any one of the direct damage yellow cards, and that'll be respawn chamber for her.
So
anything else? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the viewers is Samuele. Hello, Samuele. He's going to be my next opponent in the September Clash. So maybe after this game, we will meet up and play our September Clash game.
All right, very nice.
Let's see. I think I will just need a certain energy drink, which I won't name right now.
Yep. We did not get our sponsorship deal, and so we will simply refer to it as energy drink.
Yes.
All right, so interestingly enough, the third outsider action was actually a worshipping action, which did allow Shafathi to teleport his illusion token over to that control zone. So I wonder, he could still potentially do the play that I mentioned, go kill Telekali, and then teleport over to that control zone, but I don't know if that's what he's going to do or not. He may have just sent it over there to give Ekert and Akuti the prediction effects of being projected. Meanwhile, Nalaklan is going to appear back on the field just in time for the ultimate rounds. That being said, we did see Nalaklan's ultimate discarded at the beginning of the game during the mulligan phase, and King has not flipped over his deck yet, so it's still sitting in there. But as we know, Nalaklan can still do plenty of crazy things even without his ultimate.
That's true. And you mentioned Tlakali's ultimate as well, correct?
Yes, correct. 1000th Ritual is also in the discard pile.
So, but maybe, just maybe, Kotlik is with his ultimate?
Yes.
So then we see a lot of minions dying.
Let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and search the discard pile. Actually, that is the only ultimate that is not in the discard pile. There's 1000th Ritual from Telekali, Consulting the Heart from Nalaklan, From Below from Ishatosk. Yep, there is a very likely chance that King is holding that. There are 3 cards left in the draw pile for him, but with 6 cards in hand, it is statistically probable that he is holding Kotlik's My Kingdom.
Hmm.
And combining that, so I did mention the potential rampage of destroying a bunch of pillars and rampant hatreding. Rampant hatreding, I don't think that's a word at all. Using rampant hatred to deal some damage with Kotlik. Nelaclin could also potentially do something similar using the effect to clear off his mana, play rampant hatred. There are several pillars on the field that Nelaclin can easily get line of sight of,
Hmm.
dealing some skirmish damage to a few heroes, clearing off his mana, and then either playing a second rampant hatred or doing something else. So both of those plays look optional. I think that King of Jokes was saving up a lot for this round, and I think that unless Aethusium knocks off a few people, I think we're about to see a lot of damage from King,
Hmm.
which, as we mentioned, he definitely needs because it is game point on Sky Tier and 2 points for game on Tactician for Aethusium.
Yeah, so you want to be sure to kill the hero that holds the big lead in hands
Yes,
in the dome. And
indeed.
and as you mentioned, I also can imagine that maybe Kotlik will use some kind of skirmish. Um, let's say with Rampant Hatred, okay, maybe better with his warship action. So just
Mm-hmm.
removing a lot of pillars, or even using his ultimate and then removing pillars as well. So every pillar counts as a +1 on a skirmish damage. And then if we see like 6 pillars here,
Mm-hmm.
then afterwards, so that
That's a
that'll
lot of
that'll
damage.
that'll hurt. That'll hurt
Yes,
for sure.
that is a lot of damage. So looking real fast also at Aethusium's junk or discard pile, whatever we like to call it. Um, I only see one ultimate in the graveyard. Unfortunately, it's probably my second favorite ultimate in the game after Kneel Before Me is Cytheru's Last Judgment, which basically just allows you to blast a hex range for 4 damage. That is in the graveyard, unfortunately, so we won't be seeing that come out, but is possible that we could see the Ekrit illusion, the Akuti, I'm sorry, not the Ekrit illusion, the Ekrit ultimate, which goes on top of her illusion. We could see Akuti's Voice of Light. We could see Shafathi activating again at the end of the term. Shafathi's
Ooh.
ultimate basically serves as a time warp that allows you a bonus activation at the end of the round. So we have a lot of potential ultimates to see here. All right, let's see what we've got. So it looks like Akuti is actually going first there. She's going to worship. Looks
Yeah.
like she's going to deal damage to the minions. Takali not likely to protect them as she has 3 hit points left that will do 3 damage. So Takali would die if she tried to protect that minion.
Yeah. Is there being a deck reshuffled?
Yep.
Okay.
So it looks like it was +1 on each of the flips. So both of those would be fatal to Tilakali. So she was going to just let those minions die, remove them from the field here. It's getting into the mid-late game here, so Takali really can't afford to spend time in the respawn zone here. As we mentioned, King of Jokes is facing some pressure against 2 different objectives. So those minions are just going to die. Uh-oh, we're putting one of the minions back.
What's he doing? No, he can't. Will he let
Is he?
Takali
It,
die
it looks that's
for a
the only reason
minion?
that you. I'm not sure I agree with this trade.
Phew. He could activate Takali and just get rid of the pillar.
Yeah, he's going to let the minion
Aegis
die.
into her and just heal up maybe a
Yes.
bit, even if it's only 2 HP.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that I don't think letting Tilakali die because the minion is worth 1 control point. Tilakali can essentially be worth up to 4, 5 really if you attack and then you worship with. Or I'm sorry, not worship.
Oh,
If you lead with her,
or
so
you
I don't think
use
that
a
would be a trade at
presence.
all.
Or
Or a
use a
presence. Oh, right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that would make her up to potentially a 6-point swing. So yeah, I don't agree with sacrificing Tilakali to save a minion in this play here.
so bit with maybe a lot of the money in hand. What could be an option for? king right now, just
Mm-hmm.
to maybe take out one of the heroes. The problem right now is that there's, for example, no pillar near Cetheros' position.
Correct, which means that Nalaklan nor Ishatosk would be able to kind of teleport their way over there. Again, as we mentioned
Oh,
earlier,
oh, wait a
that rampant
second.
hatred.
He
Oh,
could he could maybe take away one of the pillars, or let's say the pillar that is laying around between Akuti and Kotlik, and just use the rampant hatred from there. Move to. Oh no, that's the line of sight. Sorry, forgot about the line of sight. So yeah, that's a problem. You don't have a pillar right there near Ceteris, so he's too far away to nuke him away. That's the thing.
mm,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. I think King of Jokes is in a bit of a conundrum on that. Oh, also, yeah, as the chat pointed out, the second attack actually could not have killed Tilakali because the Akuti additional effect is only 1 plus the flip. So with the +1, that
Ah,
only did 2
yes.
damage to the minion. But nevertheless, I guess he didn't want to bring Tilakali down to 1 hit point. Although given that Shafathi is easily within striking range, the difference between 3 HP and 1 HP seems minimal. So unless you're planning to immediately activate Tilakali and do the healing as you
Yeah.
suggested, which I suspect must be the reason. Uh,
Yeah. He maybe has to spend 3 actions with Shafati to kill Tarakali,
right,
or at least 2. Let's say a
right.
move and a skirmish. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's enough, but if not, then he has to play a card at least.
Right. Yeah, it would either be. Well, yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, it could.
Oh,
The only way you get away with one. Something happening?
yeah, maybe what could help? A skirmish maybe, deal some damage on Nelaklen and play
Mm-hmm.
some direct damage.
Yes, that would also be an option as well. So that you, and then with that skirmish action, you'd actually be right next to Nalaklan. You could, well, you could also teleport over to lane 2, resolving that skirmish action. Or you could, although that would then mean that you wouldn't be able to play the direct damage against Turkali. So I guess maybe you
That's
just end
true.
next to Nalaklan and stab him with the attack and push his HP down fairly low. Okay, looks like we're going to activate Nalaklan though.
So,
Okay, so I suspect we're going to see some excellent Nalaklan shenanigans. I love this. Like Nalaklan, see, Nalaklan is one of those heroes I think that allows a very high skill expression because, Nalaklan
that's
looks like starting happy hour a little bit too early there.
yeah.
Um,
That's the problems when you bring 6 arms.
yes, 6 arms from him plus 4 arms from the outsider. That's a little too much arm there.
Yeah,
All right. So, first card is going to
lot
be
of
the
them
Lord of the
many.
Many.
Yeah,
Nice, just as you called it. So, Lord of the Many is actually going to give Nalaklan a significant amount of power there
plus
due to the
4.
fact that he's there. So, if there is a rampant hatred in hand, that is going to potentially give, or another Lord of the Many, either one of those cards in hand, Nalaklan is within range of a pillar. This is going to result in some significant damage.
Yeah, the question is on who he will be resolving the damage.
My guess is probably Shafathi, uh, because you can't really get to Satheru because, or can you? I can't tell which 3 hexes the outsiders are. Oh no, you can't get. You wouldn't be able to get through the minion anyways, even if the outsider wasn't in the way.
Hmm.
So
There's
okay,
some
looks like
worship.
we're going to go for the worship. Interesting. Now, is he going to go for the worship in the pillar inside the dome, or is he just going to teleport all the way over? Because I'm almost certain this looks like a rampant hatred play. Otherwise, you would have probably resolved the first skirmish action.
Hmm. Or maybe he wants to kill Akrit on the other lane. Maybe.
Right. That could, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He might teleport over to Ekrit and double skirmish that has been boosted and result in a significant amount of damage, actually, to Ekrit because you get +4 from the Lord of the Many and then +2
Okay.
from. Okay, yeah, someone's about to die. Somebody's about to die here. So this is the really cool part. We are about to watch Nalaklan teleport 8 hexes across the map. I'm sorry, 9 hexes across the map.
Okay. There goes the pillar.
So that's going to allow Lachlan to clean off his mana while still maintaining the effects of the +4 skirmish. So here comes the Rampant Hatred card. There it is. Absolutely. So now Lachlan is going to, in addition, +4. So even though Lachlan discards any mana cards he's played, he still keeps their effects. So he's got +4 skirmish from Lord of the Many, and now a +2 from the effects of the Rampant Hatred for a net total of +6 skirmish damage.
Yeah. Is he,
And so, oh, go ahead.
is he playing the card through the pillar? Then
Yes.
isn't it a +3 then?
Well, I think you're allowed to act. Oh yeah. It would be
It's
yeah. Because
Ishatosk and Kotlik on that side.
Yes, yeah, because you would calculate it from the removed pillar point.
Yeah,
Yes.
hopefully we have it correct. So it would be a +7. 7
Yes. So
plus the card you're going to flip.
And more importantly, you get a bonus skirmish action. So strictly speaking, he will get to skirmish here, but he will have only used the worship and the move actions, which means he will then have the option to skirmish again for another 7+.
So now you only decide who's going to die, Akuti
Yes.
or Akrit, because 2 times 7 damage is just hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Ekrit is guaranteed to die if she's targeted. Akuti is like 95%.
What is happening? Okay,
We're going after
so
Shafathi. Okay, so we're going to protect Tilakali. Okay, this also makes sense. Shafathi is the only one in range that can kill Tilakali. So that's going to be 8 damage. That brings him down to 9.
Okay.
And so he needs a plus flip here, a +2 flip in order to kill Shafathi and prevent the death.
Next skirmish.
+2 on the flip here would kill off Shafathi. Does King feel lucky?
Ooh.
Or is there a response?
And the question is, okay, Psychic Shield. But I don't think. Okay, that's complicated now.
Okay, so this would be a question. So
yeah, that doesn't help against Rampant Hatred because I think Rampant Hatred already resolved. Let's say the effect that you get a skirmish action. Okay, what's with the damage? So
the damage there was 8 from the effect of the Rampant Hatred.
So what's happening, guys?
So
Psychic Shield protects against I forgot. 5?
5, yes. Oh, the +3 on the flip. That is a dead Shafathi.
That's a 10. So will he
Shafathi's dead. Shafathi is just dead. So Tilakali will now stay alive. The other heroes are, well, I guess technically Cytheru might be able to get to her. Now it depends on where exactly that outsider is. I think there's one hex that Cytheru can slide into that's exactly 3 away. Although, of course, Cytheru can also kind of set up in one of the double cover hexes near the tower, summon the illusion token, and then use that to further artillery fire against Tilakali. So not out of the woods yet, but certainly in a safer position from Shafathi coming through and assassinating.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so that was actually a really good save there, because otherwise Shafathi would have certainly killed Tilakali on his activation. And now you know why Nelliclin is loved and hated by many members of the community. He 100 to 0'd Shafathi there. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't 100 to 0. It was 16 to 0. So almost 100 to 0'd him with essentially 2 attacks. All right, so Aethusium's response. Yep, here comes the Cytheru. So I think that's what we're about to see. I think we're about to see some movement. A worship. If he moves into lane 1 on the right, I think then we're going to see the yep. Okay, so we're going to see, I assume, the illusion summon here.
Oh, there's a
Oh, we're just
skirmish.
going to skirmish. Okay.
That can help as well. So he can advance one more hex into the direction of Takali.
Yep. Because the outsider is actually not taking up the hex that is immediately to the northeast of Cytheria there. Is obviously a little bit difficult to see with all of his arms sticking every which way where exactly the outsider's occupying. But that is an open hex that Cytheria can go in. Oh, and so Kali's going to play a chasm. So this chasm
Chasm.
is going to be
Ah, I know.
useful here to protect her. Push her into the cover hex, means Cytheria cannot see. Okay, or you can just do that too. That's also an option.
Yeah.
Interesting. I would.
Yeah.
But the problem is with that, you can still see Cytheria after he skirmishes into the hex. So why would you not slide her into the dome or into the cover hex?
Yeah, I think he pointed out where he is going to play the chasm.
Okay, that makes more. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And
If he
from
pinged,
there
yeah,
you push, yeah, from there you push away.
right. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, I thought he was pinging, saying that he was going to move to Kali there, and that didn't make sense. This makes perfect sense. Yeah, now Cytheria is unable to see Tilakali. Assassination is prevented. However, the skirmish section hasn't been exhausted, so we're just going to turn that fire right on
Yeah.
Neliclin.
And
Oh,
yeah, whoops.
we're going to get the outsider out of the fight. Oh, goodness.
That's the best part in real
Hitboxes.
life. This doesn't happen in real life.
Yes. If anyone doubts why we would play in real life when we have this beautiful mod, which by the way, we again want to shout out Tapeworm for all his amazing work on this, it's because the sole reason is personal socialization, playing board games. No, none of that. It's because you don't have weird interactions with hitboxes in real life.
Yes. Yes. And long live tape.
Also, long live tape. That is correct.
So what would be the third action? A lead?
Third action. So I don't see why not. Getting control of the dome guarantees victory here. Control Zone 2 is not going to be able to destroy the tower this round here. So I think you just funnel everybody into the dome and kill off Nalaklan. If you have a presence and a 3 lead, I think you just win the dome and just win the game from that. Okay, looks like we're attacking Nalaklan. Yep. We're going to, well, I don't know what the overall plan is, but the current plan is we're going to put Nalaklan, a +0 on the flip. Unfortunate. That will still bring him down to 9 HP, though. With no armor, Nalaklan is still pretty squishy. And in round 3, there's plenty of, okay, there we go. Shattermind. So Shattermind dealing an additional 3 damage, bringing him down to 6. So Nalaklan is almost certainly about to die yet again.
Yeah, and the thing is, if Nalaklan is going to die, we will see him probably in round 5.
Correct.
And Shafati is going to come back in the next round.
He will indeed. Now, both Ekrit and Akuti do have their illusions out, and they do have their ultimates. So it could be possible that we are saving up for a potential Ekrit ultimate, Eye of the Storm, which would be very useful there for some minion control. Or we could possibly see Akuti's ultimate, which would be useful for a little bit of healing and then disarming enemy heroes. Not necessarily going to further damage Nalaklan, but given that he only has 6 hit points and there's, I believe, a few Shatter Minds and Nightmare Incarnates, or also that Soul Scream potentially that can be used, I don't think Nalaklan is going to be alive at the end of this turn.
Yep.
Now, that being said, Ekrit is the only hero that Aethusium has left this turn, and King of Jokes will get double activation at the end. So, based on that, if Nalaklan doesn't die, it is still possible for King of Jokes to make a contest for the dome to at least force a push.
So, what could be a possible way? You use Kotlik's ultimate to clear, let's say, the minion wave.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know if you will use the Ishatos skill to just jump in the upper right corner on the dome, or maybe get Kotlik as well into there.
Yeah, that could possibly be a play there. You can Ixotaxi your team into the dome. There is a pillar there for that purpose. That's an option.
Could work, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I think that seems to be a reasonable play. Using the My Kingdom Ultimate, two pillars you could potentially knock off um, quite a few minions here. About five, I think, if I'm counting correctly.
Hmm.
So that would at least give a lot of lane pressure to Aethusium, excuse me, to King there, and would require a strong play in the dome. So no leads in the dome as of right now. If Nalaklan stays alive, if a presence comes down, oh no, well I guess Ishtar could play the presence. Ishtar is green blue,
He can, yes.
so that may be a case of what has to happen here. So Ekrit, I think, has to use her mana to kill Nalaklan.
Yeah, Kotlik is generally the only hero now on the field on in King's team who can use the red mana.
Mm-hmm.
So more of the aggressive kind, and the blue mana giving more, let's say, healing options or, for
Mm-hmm.
example, control options.
Yes. Now, interesting to note, there is a Dragon Punch in Kotlik's deck here, so it is possible that Kotlik kind of steps on top of the pillar or the. All right, well, guess not. It's not possible because Ishitosk is going to be the one that's activating here. So,
Yep.
will we see the Ixotaxi into the dome to help contest?
Yeah, I mean,
Yep, there's the worship action. So yep, there's the removed pillar. So Ishitosk is going to teleport into the dome there. Not going to take Kotlik with him, but that's all right. Looks like we might actually
one,
make an
two,
attempt
three,
on
four.
Theru. Okay. Let's see here. Now,
So,
if there is another, okay, so the attack action.
mm-hmm.
Now, it is possible that if there is another rampant hatred from King of Jokes, Cytherio just dies here. With two heroes there, that will give enough skirmish damage that Cytherio will die from a double skirmish effect from the rampant hatred.
Oh,
Okay, so
it's just a
okay,
presence. Okay,
yeah,
so there's going to be a lead from that,
yes. All
maybe.
right, so in this case, Nalaklan has to die if Aethusium wants to win from Sky Tier Master this round.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't win it, if King of Jokes wins the dome, I think we can almost certainly watch Cytheru die from the outsider.
But as I said, there's now no way or no direct way to heal Nilaklen.
That is true.
There are no
So
healing cards.
correct. So this is going to depend on, does the dome go to a player or does it result in a draw?
Mm-hmm.
Because as we mentioned, Nalaklan is also not long for this world. Ekrit very easily can kill him with with good flips on her attack and skirmish actions, or if Aethusium is holding any sort of a Nightmare Incarnate or Shattermind.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens. Ekrit will be the final activation, and then we will see both Kotlik and Tlakali take their turns for King of Jokes, since Shafathi was executed from that beautiful Nalaklan Rampant Hatred Lord of the Many combination that we saw there. Let's see what he does. Aethusium going for the thinking. And again, obviously, as we mentioned, this is the semifinals of the Clash here. So definitely not a game where you want to throw away the victory because you played too quickly and made a simple oversight.
Mm-hmm. So Eric is mentioning if King was a gambling man, He lets Skirmish to go, and then Chasm in response to attack action. Would have been 2 damage on Takali instead of 8 to Nelaklan.
Hmm.
Okay.
So that is fair, but the only point, as we mentioned, well, I guess you could have chasmed if you would have seen a power card response that would have killed Tilakali anyway. So that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would have been a good gamble, actually. But I don't think King wanted to gamble because if Tilakali died, that would have been very, very bad for him.
But if she died ready, she would have, or she would come back next round.
True, but the question is that would there have been a next round with Sky Tier
Yeah,
Master at
that's true.
game point? Game might have been over before Tilakali was able to re-enter the battlefield. All right, so Aethusium going to go for the skirmish. This makes sense. I think we need to make an attempt at killing Nelaklan.
Yeah, sure.
We're going to flip there. Looks like a +0 on the flip, I believe. Oh, no, we haven't flipped it. That was already there. Okay, +1 on the flip. Okay. So she's going to... Oh, that's right. There's the... Nope, there's no predict there, so I'm not sure what we...
Can't be predicted.
Correct, because
It's
Shifaki's
Shefati
token is dead.
illusion. I'm
Yeah,
pinging
he's
it
dead.
because he's dead.
Yeah. Yep.
I just took it away because it's dead, so okay.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think there was a
Yeah,
prediction going on because he saw that he was next to them and he may have forgotten that
yeah.
he was next to the illusion.
I think they resolved it. Okay, so
Yep.
still
Okay,
1
still
damage.
damage.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, now Eckert is in the middle of 3 hexes. So is she sitting? Okay, she looks like she's sitting there. That makes sense. So now, does I assume we attack? It is possible to kill here with a +3 on the flip. Oh, and the Lachlan
+2.
survives
Oh,
1 hit
1
point.
HP.
Do you have a card? Do you have a card? Once again, tracker being very fickle. There we go. Nelaklan is down to 1 HP. Can you kill Nelaklan with a Nightmare Incarnate, with a Migraine, with anything? You could also potentially, well, I guess worshipping and summoning your illusion wouldn't help here. You kind of need to lead in order to counter this. So what's the play here? I'm guessing he doesn't because I think we would have. Yeah. Oh, we're going to lead from the deck. Okay.
Okay.
So pretty sure in this situation that King is going to win control of the dome because of Ishatosk's presence.
Yes.
That was a predicted play there from the deck. So let's see what happens. I mean, it could be the case that that was only a +2, and we end up with a push situation here.
So who are we going to see first?
Control zone 1. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's right. We have half of a turn left to go because there is still more heroes to activate, so we don't need to worry about that. Oh, and now Akuti plays Word of Nuptin. Excellent. So this is actually going to keep Cytheru alive. Word of Nuptin allowing each friendly hero within Akuti's line of sight to be healed by 3, and applying disarm to anybody within line of sight to her illusion.
Okay, so Kodlik is being disarmed.
Right, which is going to be necessary because, as you mentioned, Kotlik is going to potentially go on a pillar slamming rampage here. So we're going to move into the dome. We're going to skirmish.
Okay. Didn't prepare anything. He could have worshipped. So I don't know what he's about. Nightmare. Okay.
Okay.
That is a dead Nelaklan.
That is very dead Nelaklan. Interesting that he waited till now to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you could have drawn 2 cards earlier.
All right. Well, in any case, +1 on the skirmish there. Cytheru down to 1 damage. Cytheru is going to die then here to an attack, if that's the option for Kotlik, which I assume that it probably is. Yep. Okay, so Cytheru is dead here. Oh no, I forgot he's disarmed.
He's disarmed,
so no,
he's
not dead.
That's 4. That's only 2 damage, so he has 1 HP left.
And yet again, the mage survives with 1 hit point.
Why didn't he?
Ooh, Kotlik is now going to play the Sky Tier Drain, everybody's favorite card that forces you to discard.
And what is Aethusium discarding? He was very fast discarding.
He discarded a Sky Tier shield, or I'm sorry, Psychic Shield and the redirect card. So Psychic Shield, pretty much useless in hand against this particular deck, as there's not many cards that are going to do direct damage to you, so that's a good discard there. And then the redirect, obviously you can't redirect Sky Tier Drain anyway, so that doesn't make any sense. So overall, Aethusium probably not too hurt by that play. But of course, we all are disappointed in having to have witnessed the drain. I like Sky Tier. I'll be totally honest. I like Sky Tier Drain. I know it's a very divisive card in the community. A lot of people hate it. I am one of the people that think it is a fun card. So I'm sure that I'm about to lose anybody who appreciates anything that I do from that statement. But I'm sorry. All right, so in that situation, we see that Tilakali is now going to kind of zip over here. She's going to move. I think now she's going to have to come in and finish the job that Kotlik failed to do.
Oh, 0.
Oh, poor King. You're getting so unlucky on these flips. Now we have to, I mean, to be fair, I don't really know what else she would do in this case, other than maybe worship to bring a pillar. So Cytheru finally going down. All right, there we go. So now there's the Dragon Punch card that we were talking about seeing earlier. Not coming into play here. So if we resolve the control zones, actually, this might be a sweep for King of Jokes as a result of killing 2 heroes. Lane 1 is in his favor in 4-3. Lane 2, oh no, I'm sorry, Lane 2 is most certainly not in King of Jokes' favor at all. Yes. So Lane 2 is going to destroy the tower. That is a 5-0 control pressure there, so that tower is gone. Now, it does not matter in terms of victory conditions per se, because it is a right breach victory condition, and that is the left lane for Aethusium. But nevertheless, that is tower destruction, which means no minions will spawn for King over there.
Yeah,
and it does threaten the Nexus.
I see Akudi with a lead card.
Yes.
So curious what this is going to be.
Yeah, I mean it's 5+, I guess I should say, to be more precise. But regardless, the point being is that tower is 100% dead. Not that it really leads Aethusium to victory any faster, other than getting him a control point, which is important though, because he is now on victory condition number 2 that he can earn here. Also King of Jokes. So in this situation, I was going to say, King of Jokes should be at 4 points because he wins 1 and 3. There we go. Yeah. So with that being said, if I'm Aethusium, in this case, I can just kind of funnel all my resources into winning Control Zone 1, or and then I kind of just win the game. Because in this situation, there is absolutely no way that you're winning Control Zone 2. Given that tower is completely gone, you don't get any minions back. So there's 6 minions versus your 0 minions, and you're not going to expend the resources that you would need in order to.
Why is the control token moved here?
That is a great question. Oh, the control token had to stop at the tower at the end of the round. Yeah, but
the tower is dead.
Right, but it had to stop there, and I don't think it can move until next
first turn. Damage and then move.
Right. Oh yeah. Interesting.
So I'm just pinning a bit because
let's see here.
I think the minions have to spawn over there. I think. So
Let's see.
5. I think he's right next to the Nexus with the minions and before placing that outsider.
Let's see. Advancing the control token here. The winner advances the control token a number of hexes equal to the difference between the control values. The control token must be moved directly towards the closest enemy token, and it stops as soon as it's adjacent to one. The control token ignores blocking elements while moving and can end its movement in the same hex as another miniature or token, but cannot enter the dome. After the control token has been moved, the player is repositioned. Blah, 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 blah. Hmm. Both players spawn the minions. Da, 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 da. Yeah, okay. There we go. Yep, everything is resolved as it should be.
Okay. So
So
now it's
we've
fine.
got, yeah,
So
everything
now,
is fine.
yeah.
Well, everything is not fine if you're king of jokes, but everything is fine from our perspective.
Can you read what they just wrote? Because it's blocked through my overview. No, you
Yep,
can't.
it is blocked from mine as well, so we're just going to kind of.
Perfect.
Aethusium
Okay.
says needs sleep.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Yeah. This is, well, the control token movement now is disrupting King, who gained
Yes.
the control of the outsider. So
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't able to place it right to defend maybe the Nexus a bit.
Correct.
So that
Because
isn't
the
possible.
outsider, yep, the outsider does need to be placed across the perimeter, and that is the closest that he can get to it because courtesy of Ekrit standing where she is, it is impossible to get him in a position where he's over there. But nevertheless, with that positioning, you can deal some damage, but it looks like we're going to go and kill the heroes here. Dead heroes can't lead. They also can't fight for control zones. And so I think that is King's strategy here. Kill off as many heroes as possible and then try to win lane. Well, so he has to win lane 1, prevent the death of lane 2 because he only has 4 control points.
Yeah, but you have to win.
You have to win lane 1 and destroy
And
the
2.
tower.
Yeah.
And lane 2. Yeah. Yeah. You have to win lane 1 and not lose lane 2, which is difficult to say the least.
Yes.
Not impossible, mind you, but it is very difficult.
Kotlik with Dragon Punch could have been helpful, but it has been flipped, correct?
Correct. All right, so let's see. Yeah, my kingdom is in the discard.
Yeah, and Kotlik isn't disarmed anymore.
Correct.
Okay.
After the activation, Kotlik would have removed the disarm. So Shafathi now re-enters the field. So this is going to be a 3-on-3 hero match here, as both Nalaklan and Cytherio are going to respawn at a point where the game will no longer be being held. I don't see this game going into a round 5 here. So let's see. Looks like we're finishing off there. That was the shockwave from the outsider, kind of just pushing Ekrit a little bit further into King's territory, perhaps maybe trying to jump her and kill her. She does only have 9 HP, which means it is very possible to get her with perhaps a rampant hatred or a strong worship action from Kotlik to bolster his skirmish damage.
Yes. Eric, there's only one Dragon Punch in King's deck, so this has been flipped, and we don't see the option right now.
Yes.
So, and bye-bye, Tape. Thanks for watching.
Yep. We appreciate you, Tape. Again, thank you for the mods and also for minor clarifications of some of the more obscure points of the rules. 99% of this game's rules are fairly straightforward, but there are always a couple of those niche conditions and stack options that kind of make your head scratch and have to think very carefully about what it is that they end up resolving out exactly.
Yeah, we certainly know who we have to ask in that case. So, thanks for that.
How many cards are still in the deck? There are 10 cards left in King's deck, and there are 14 cards left in Aethusium's deck. So we're not going to be seeing a deck recycle anytime soon from either of those players.
So King has at least a slight advantage on lane number 1 with
Yep.
6 minions against 4 minions. Lane number
So
2
that's
is, yeah, crashing, going to crash the Nexus.
yeah. Lane number 2 here is the problem, because that essentially wins the game by Tactician and Nexus Destruction. So I'm not actually sure which would go off first. I assume that the control point for Tactician would go off before the actual damage to the Nexus would resolve, but it really
Yes,
doesn't make a difference.
I think so too, because yeah,
You would award the control point and then
yeah.
do the HP subtraction. Yeah.
Mhm.
We're going to ignore that and just say that it was Nexus Destruction though, because it's cooler. Even though we would in the official battle report it correctly as a Tactician victory, because we do not here at SkyTier, we do not condone fluffing and buffing stats just to suit a narrative.
Yes.
We are all about rigorous and proper statistical analysis. So, with that being said, Aethusium is going to go ahead and get the first activation. And I think at this point, we see something happen.
So, I could imagine if he maybe has Shafati's ultimate in hand,
Mm-hmm.
then he's going to activate him first, and yeah.
Yep.
Then
Send him over here, do some minion cleanup, and then position him such that you can use the ultimate at the end of the turn and just go and cause more chaos.
yes.
Or just actually continue to delete minions. Because in this situation, if you win lane 1, it's game over. You don't even need to worry about the rest of the map.
Sure.
All right, 1 minion's down. And Eric is a man of my upbringing here. Kill Tilakali to reduce King's outs. I agree. I would just say kill Tilakali because it's killing. And killing more heroes always is more fun. Doesn't matter who or what. All right, so that's 1 minion down there. And we do see the lead from the hand or from the deck, excuse me, for Shafathi. So that's going to be potentially his first activation of this turn.
Yeah. And it's full mana still.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't see how King gets out of this one because there's just so much pressure. Like, so if Akuti sends her illusion over, if she and her illusion go over into Control Zone 1 and destroy 2 more of those minions, then I think lane 1 just defaults to Aethusium because you have to spend so much energy trying to get rid of all those minions over in lane 2. And given that my kingdom is in the discard pile and Dragon Punch is in the discard pile, you don't really have an easy way to clean those up.
No.
So I don't see how King gets out of this. I'm trying to come up with a play for him here to think about what he might do, but I think he's cornered.
I think I did miss how Tlakali got healed a bit.
She used the
worship ability.
Worship action, the divine conduit from the worship or from the outsider to burn a pillar and then heal herself that way.
She used that. Okay. Isn't she too far away?
Um, from the outsider? No, she. Oh, yes.
Yes. She's
That
4
was.
hexes away.
That's.
Ouch.
Uh-oh. Yep, that was a misplay there that we did not see until now. Yeah, that was actually hmm,
Ooh.
oof. I don't think it's going to make a difference, to be honest.
I mean,
But yes, that is an incorrect.
4 HP or how many was it?
I did not see that one. I
Okay.
think it would have been actually. I think it would have been four, wasn't it? Because wasn't she down to 3 HP? Because we
It's
said that you could kill her with a Shatter Mine,
it's 1 plus a card.
the flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's where the Kotlik's My Kingdom was flipped.
Ooh.
So that would have been the +4.
Okay.
But that being said, I don't. Yeah, so that is actually I think a misplay there that slipped by, but I don't think it's going to make a difference in this game because you can just move and skirmish with a cootie and
She was at 3. Okay, I missed
oh yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah. I see. Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah. You actually can't get in range without a fast um, in order to bring the illusion down. That makes sense. Okay, and Eric does confirm that she was at 3. Yeah. So
Okay,
the my
I missed
yeah
that.
the My
Sorry.
Kingdom flip was for that. Nope, no problem. That was actually a good point because yeah, she should not have actually done that. Oh well. So okay, yeah. So if there is another swiftness card, then Akuti could easily just fast her way over to lane 1, summon the illusion, and then attack and kill off the minion. If not, then you can still move, skirmish, and then attack the minions, and still provide Akuti's control presence there as well, and just change the lead over a little bit more. Oh,
Uh-oh.
we have something in the chat that says Kaj
Is
is back in a minute. Oh, King of Jokes.
oh, okay.
Okay, so it must be like a quick
Yeah,
bathroom break. Like, yep,
could be an cat attack or something.
that is true. Um,
Yeah.
this is why you always trust dogs. Dogs are infinitely more loyal.
Yes.
Um,
They just sit around and look at you and
yep.
just leave you alone. And don't jump
Where,
on
yes.
on your laptop or something.
Whereas the cat will sit there and judge you and then scream at you if you haven't refilled its food container,
Yes.
even though the food container is still at 90% capacity. Human, my bowl is almost empty. You have 450 grams out of 500 grams of food. What do you mean it's almost? I said it's almost empty, human. Fill the bowl.
Yeah, we're missing some cat action here, actually. But
That is true.
yeah, I think it's fine that way.
Yes, because this is actually true. We actually don't have any blue heroes, which was quite nice.
Hmm. So we could have seen, let's say, one red hero as an
Yes.
exception to the uh, mono decks here.
Hmm.
But with those victory conditions, it was quite
Yeah,
obvious that Akimo wouldn't show up.
that is correct. Yeah, Akimo doesn't really bring. Akimo brings pain and suffering and killing, which, I mean, to be fair, we've seen quite a bit of in this game nonetheless, but it doesn't advance you really towards victory. And so I think it was a smart move. Although I do remember the one time I did have a game, there were a couple, I think there was one kill condition. It might have been Onslaught, I think, and then there were two control conditions or whatever. Both players brought Akimo, and there were actually 0 kills the entire game. I felt like I was being trolled here on a game with 2 Akimos and 0 deaths.
Yeah, what do you expect from a game with two Akimos or Akimo on either side? You expect
I
kills.
expect,
Yeah.
yes, I expect lots of death and massacring and card draw, and we got none of that.
Give me blood.
Yes. All right, so it looks like King of Jokes is back to the field here. Going to be thinking about his actions here, trying to figure out a way out of this, as I mentioned. Kotlik has already, I'm sorry, no, that is Nalklin. So he has yet to activate any of his heroes. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know what you do in this situation. Um, Do you bring Tilakali over and summon a pillar to try and protect some of the minions? Well, the problem is you've got so many minions that Aethusium can just target the ones that are not protected by pillars.
Yeah, that's true.
Lane 2 needs addressing. That's the other issue too. Like right now, Aethusium has 6 points of control for Control Zone 2. And so
Oh.
all right, let's see what we're gonna do here. All right, looks like Kotlik is gonna go. Do we see
A
okay, we see a
warship.
warship. Okay.
1 pillar, 2 pillars.
Okay, so it looks like Kotlik is gonna go for the whole strategy of dead heroes can't lead. Is he going to try and kill Shafathi once again so that Shafathi isn't able to use his ultimates? That would actually be hilarious if he does. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm pretty sure that Aethusium had Shafathi's ultimate from round 3, and the fact that he wouldn't be able to use it 2 rounds in a row would actually be pretty funny.
Ooh.
I would feel bad for Aethusium, but I would still find it. Yep. Okay, here we go.
Okay, but it's.
Oh God, here we go again. I've seen this before. Kotlik's going to go ahead and play Rampant Hatred, gaining +3 on the skirmish, in addition to however much he removed from the pillars.
Only 2, I think. So.
Okay, so that's +5 to the skirmish, I believe.
Sounds good.
So here we go. Oh, we're not going after Shafathi. We're going after Ekrit. Okay, this makes sense. You are going to be able to kill.
+3.
+3 on the flip. Okay. So
Minus,
she's going all the way down to 3 HP.
That's
2 HP, excuse me. And so she's dead from. I assume you use the skirmish here to kill her and then use the movement portion to get into Control Zone 2's range. Yeah, and then that way you can burn the attack to kill off one of the 6 minions.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, dead Ekrit. Yeah, that was Ekrit, yeah. All right, so Ekrit now joins the growing party of Respawn after the game is over.
Has she has been activated? No.
No, but she would revive in round 5.
Yeah.
We're not getting to round 5.
That's true.
The game is going to end.
That's true. I need that energy drink.
Which again, we will not specify which one it is.
No.
We will just simply say generic energy brand.
Yes.
2. All right, take out the minion. That makes sense. Perfect. So Control Zone 2 now 5-2-1, still in favor of Aethusium, which means we're gonna have to see a little bit more going on. Now Shafathi has activated once, but if we are true in our suspicions, Shafathi will be able to activate. What is it called? Flashback is his ultimate. Yep, flashback, and allow Shafathi to reactivate once again, effectively giving Aethusium an additional activation.
Which now, with only 2 heroes on board, is crucial.
Yes. So the question here is, does he... Oh, he has a presence. Okay. So playing presence on Akuti. I think in this situation, then, he's just going... So Akuti has 16 hit points, and with only Ishatosk remaining to activate... Oh, no, Ishatosk and Tilakali have to activate, excuse me.
Okay, she can move, do a skirmish, and is landing on the position that Kotlik now...
hex.
Yeah, in the cover hex that Kotlik now opened up. So...
Yep, which is big, because... based on if he does that, there's no way that Tilakali gets within line of sight of him, because courtesy of Kotlik's position and the outsider's position, there's no way for Tilakali to get in line of sight.
I think
Oh, but there's the sinkhole to stop that play. Okay. So we're going to position the target is going to be right there. So the sinkhole is going to go around there. So essentially the sinkhole is now going to trap Akuti in the hexes surrounding that pillar. You see King of Jokes pinging down where the sinkhole trap is going to be. So Akuti will be relegated into the dome, which does prevent the play that we just talked about. It essentially will guarantee control in the dome, but ultimately,
Okay.
again, just delaying the inevitable. So we're going to attack Akuti. That makes sense. +2 on the flip does 3 damage to her. And if he has 2
Yeah.
Shatter Minds, he could just double Shatter Mind and kill her here. Or 4 HP, excuse me. Not 3. Does he have 2 Shatter Minds to kill her? Because that would be pretty awesome if he did. Nope, we're just going to lead. That makes sense. We do have a presence. And so,
From deck. Okay.
unless, yeah. So in this situation, King of Jokes could have survived by pushing a lane, but now he would need to win both the lanes because otherwise the round 3 victory in the Dome would give both the Tactician and the Sky Tier victory there.
Mm.
So that being said, we now get to see what Tilikhali and Ishatosk are both going to do, as that is going to be the end of Akuti's activation. So King of Jokes, I think, knows that the flashback is coming from Shafathi. So based on that, how does he respond?
Pew. I mean, that's really difficult. Still a small minion advantage on lane number 1, but you've got a Shafati there with a blind lead from deck.
Correct. And looking at Aethusium's deck, there are 2 Psychic Shields in the deck, but I believe that he's willing to. Well, actually, you know what? Instead of making predictions, let's just go ahead and search his discard pile. Because we can do that. So let's see. There is 1 Psychic Shield in the graveyard right now. So there's essentially a 1 out of 32 chance that is that card. Obviously, we're not getting down to the probability of the fact that some of the cards have been played and whatnot, but there is only 1 Psychic Shield there that could be face down. So statistically, very unlikely that is the Psychic Shield.
And he could, with the flashback, he could even lead another time.
Correct.
To
Yeah,
be
you
sure.
could actually just overwrite the lead, which actually would be interesting. Would you overwrite that lead?
No, I think you get 2 cards.
Oh, okay, interesting. So you would actually then just get to pick the higher of the 2 and guarantee. Okay, that's fair. I've actually never seen Shafathi double lead, so I didn't know how that interaction would work. But given that he would skirmish, I assume that he would move into range, killing off one of the minions. So even with that, then he would still have, even if that lead is a 0, that would still give him a 5-4 lead and victory in Control Zone 1.
That's true.
With that play. So yeah, I think that King of Jokes is trying to stop too many leaks in the dam here. I think Aethusium's board state is such that if Aethusium run or if King runs one way, then Aethusium just runs the other way.
True. So there's still maybe a chance for King for Call the Pack and the Presence.
Yes. Okay, those are both options.
Yeah, so we're at 4 mana, depending on how he's deciding.
He hasn't chosen which hero to activate yet, and both Tilikhali and Ishatosk are green-blue heroes, so that is potentially 8 mana that can be used. All right, looks like Tilikhali is going to go. So does Tilikhali make her way into control lane 2, kill off a minion, and force a lane 1 victory there? Or excuse me, a lane 2 victory there. So if she does this, looks like there's the move. We'll see an attack, and then I assume a lead from that. So that will actually lock down control zone 2 for King of Jokes with that play. Oh, yep. Okay, yeah. I was going to say I think that's the play you want to make. Maybe not.
So you move. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah.
Tilikhali was one more over. Okay.
True.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I think. Ooh,
oh, that's This game is so close.
It is
So close. Just one control point, winning the next control point, and you win the match.
pretty much, yeah. And again, this is this is one of those cases where every hex and every action you make counts.
Mm.
King of Jokes has 6 AP essentially and 8 mana to spend. Aethusium's got, we presume, 3 more AP with a flashback plus 1 additional mana uh, with his Shafathi. If he doesn't have flashback, I'm gonna actually be shocked.
Yeah, me too.
Like I've been saying all of this based on the presumption that he's been holding flashback since at least round 3, and if he doesn't have that, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think either way, King is going to play his both heroes, and then we see if he presumed correctly, or if we are totally dumb.
We've made a bunch of assumptions and
Yeah.
none of them have played out.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Eric proposes to us double Sky Tier Drain could steal the Shafathi Ultimate. That is true, except that all 3 Sky Tier Drains are currently in the discard pile for King.
Ooh.
But that could have been something. So
Yeah. Ooh.
I assume Aethusium has been paying attention to the discard, so he knows he doesn't actually have to worry about that. So what is the play here, Kali? See, this is where it would be very useful to have like Zakol and a Frenzy, because you could potentially push. Well, now I guess even with the flashback, then even if you push Safathi out of range, he would just scoot
Yeah.
his way back in there on his second activation.
Yeah, but yeah, and still, with a frenzy, you mean? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about where am I going to push Shafati?
Yes,
Yeah, okay. So what's he pointing at? Control point
he's
number two.
pinging the minion. Yeah, it looks like the minion is glowing there, as opposed to the
Hmm.
control zone. So we'll see what he's planning on doing.
I think it's generally difficult for Taulo to kill minions. Okay, what's
Call of the
happening?
Pack cannot be played in lane 2 by King of Jokes, correct? Let's see. Call of the Pack. Spawn a friendly minion, then blah, 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 blah,
It's a
blah,
blue
blah.
card, so you can't, Kotley can't play it, but and it's in a Kotley can't be played in lane 2 by.
So the question that we're resolving here is that King of Jokes wants to play Call the Pack, which Call the Pack is spawn a friendly minion. Then if you have fewer minions than your opponent,
You can't. There's no tower.
correct. Um,
There's no tower to
there's also
spawn.
no tower, and oh, wait a minute. Yep. Well, I think the spawn command requires line of sight.
Yes, you
Does
require
it
line
not?
of sight to the control token, and you need a tower.
Ah, you need a tower as well. Okay.
Yeah, you need line of sight and a tower.
Okay, that was the issue.
So,
Okay, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you
I thought
can.
you were saying.
Yeah, you can write that.
Okay.
If you didn't, you can message
Let's
them.
see.
No tower, no spawn.
I'm gonna actually double check something real quick here. Uh, so let's see. Tapeworm confirms for us in the rules. So even though he's no longer with us, you cannot spawn minions without a tower, and so that is indeed correct. So to explain what was happening here, there was an option that we were looking to call the pack in lane 2, but because the tower has been destroyed, even if Ishatosk or Tilakali was to move into that control hex or into that cover hex to have line of sight to the token, because the tower has been destroyed, you're still not able to spawn the minion. So spawning a minion requires both the tower to be alive and to have line of sight.
Yes. So, yeah. For example, let's think about. Um, isn't Lord of the Ancestors, for example, he has as well the skill to spawn a minion, if I'm not if I'm
Uh,
not missing anything. So
Lord of the Ancestors.
so
Well, he
he
doesn't even have Lord of the Ancestors.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
So.
no, for example, he couldn't do that either. So
Oh, I see what
because
you're saying.
he's
Right.
okay, so now we at least know that there is that there is a call to pack.
We do know that. Yes. So in this situation, if there's a 3 mana lead, if you send in Ishatosk into lane 2, kill off a minion, and then lead from your hand with a 3, or lead from the deck with a 3, that will give you control zone 2. And then you could potentially use Call of the Pack in lane 1
Mm-hmm.
um, over there. So that is an option because you would be able to defend control zone 2 um, in a 5-4 and then use that Call of the Pack in control zone 1 and try to
Yeah.
stave off
The
whatever
thing
nonsense your
yeah,
father's playing.
the thing is um King has to win lane number 1 and lane number 2 to win the game.
Correct.
And I don't think that is really possible. I don't know.
Right. Right. Because courtesy of that sinkhole with Akuti being trapped there, Aethusium will win Control Zone 3 pretty much uncontested there. She does have a double presence, which is actually hilarious. So she has a control value of 3 plus whatever that card is underneath. And so that guarantees that he wins by Sky Tier Dome if King of Jokes does not get both lane 1 and lane 2. So all Aethusium has to do is tie one of those lanes. If he does not lose both lanes, he wins the game.
Yes.
So yeah, I think in this case, send one of those two over, secure your lane 2, and then send the final one over to lane 1.
Mm-hmm.
He does have 6 cards in play.
Yeah. Ishato's move, attack, lead, call the pack. And Tlakali move, attack, lead to win lane 2.
Correct.
Can Shafati lead 2 times during his 2 activations in 1 turn? I think so, and I think I remembered this has been played.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier on his flashback ultimate. If he wants to lead again, and then he selects the better of the 2 leads,
Would
which
make
actually
sense.
may now become relevant. Yeah, which would actually now become relevant, based on the fact that Tilakali's showing up, leading, and killing off a minion there, and using Call of the Pack would actually generate a fair amount of control swing.
Yeah, it would be 6 minions against 3
Yes.
minions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe.
Plus whatever she.
Yeah, yeah.
Whew. All right, so we thought that Aethusium had this one locked down, but maybe not now. This is where we're doing some hard math here,
Oh man.
because even one minor miscalculation from either of these players is going to result in their opponent taking the victory.
Yeah.
All right, looks like
Mm.
Takali's finally going to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so will Takali be the lane 1 defender or the lane 2 defender? I ultimately don't really think it makes that big of a difference. Considering that her and Ishitosk both have to go to one lane. Okay, but we are going to see
Okay.
them go over.
Very close to Shafati. which
Right.
I don't like. A lot of
Oh,
many. Two
oh,
times played or one time?
oh. Okay.
Two times
Two.
played.
Okay. So
This is
this
a
actually,
10 skirmish damage. That's hilarious.
we're gonna go for the kill on Shafathi again.
This is 10 plus skirmish damage.
How do you stop a hero from leading? You kill them. How do you stop them from
Okay,
rewinding
but
time? You kill them again.
he's still okay. Takes back his why? What's he doing?
Okay.
He can only do this once, so
I
it's 10
okay.
damage.
Yeah, he cannot clean his mana off in double skirmish.
It's not
In the
Nalaklan.
same, yeah, it's not Nalaklan, and that's not going to kill Shafathi anyways. As hilarious as that would be, that's not enough damage. Even if you flip a
A 3, so it's
a 3,
13.
so
5
that would give you
HP
13.
left, and you need to flip another 3 to
Right.
kill.
Okay. So actually, yeah, you could kill exactly. You'd need to hit 2+3s, and given the amount of +3s that are currently in his graveyard, we've got actually there's only Assaulting the Heart and My Kingdom in the graveyard out of 5 cards there. Depending on what he's got in his hand, if you're feeling like a gambling man and you think that you might hit either From Below or the other ultimate, there are no psychic shields for him to flip.
Okay, it's the other
All right,
one.
we're going for this play.
Move, attack,
Okay,
and lead, I
let's
think.
get that. That would have been hilarious. I'm sorry. I would have loved to have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to lead from the deck. Okay. Okay, so good thing that he actually didn't do that, because that attack would have been a +0 on the skirmish, which would have done 10 damage to Shafathi, but not enough to kill him. All right, so now Ishitosk said we're going to play the safe route here. We're going to see the Lord of the... oh no, we're going to see Rampant Hatred? That is a...
What? I don't think so. It's an attack.
oh, no, I'm sorry. No, that's not Rampant Hatred. That's... I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. That's not the right thing. We're not going to see Rampant Hatred, because that wouldn't
Oh,
make any sense.
there's a +3 flipped on a minion.
So actually, I would say that it was better, because if you flip the +0 and then the +3, that would feel super bad, because knowing that you needed to hit 2 and you only hit 1, unfortunate.
Sorry, but why didn't he play Call the Pack? He said
I
1
don't know.
mana.
Oh yeah, because Ishitosk doesn't have any mana.
Oh.
So that doesn't, yeah, that actually doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you have sent Tilakali
Why
over there?
don't you? Yeah.
Huh. Okay, well, in any case, Shafathi is now going to do what we suspected and activate again. Yeah, that would have been extra control value there for him to have used Call of the Pack. So
Yeah.
whew,
What is Tilakali now doing with 4 mana?
nothing. I think that was a mistake there. I said earlier that it didn't really matter which one you sent where, but I forgot that Ishitosk had already burned 3 mana to use the sinkhole earlier. So it actually would have mattered, because you could have sent Tilakali to lane 1 and used Call the Pack. But nevertheless, all right, Aethusium's going to activate. Shafathi is going for round number 2, destroying another minion and another safe lead from the deck, as we saw there.
Yeah. You
Take
would have been in advantage by 1 more minion.
Okay.
So 5
Yep.
minions.
Well, that's 3 there, which means unless Ishitosk also has a 3. Okay. So
What?
1 there. Tilakali, show
Can't
us the
believe
lead.
it.
Show us the lead.
A
2.
2. 1, 2, 3. Oh man.
There we go.
Okay, it was a 2. 1, 2, 3,
4 to 4.
4. 4 to 4. No, yeah, and then it's the win. Oh, it's only 1.
By Tactician or Sky Tier Master,
Oh
however
man.
you. That was exciting.
Look at those hands. Shadow Mind, Nightmares
Yeah.
Incarnate. None of the many Granite Skin, Stone Barricade, and a Lifesteal. Okay.
Wow.
Oof.
So wrap this up one. That is Aethusium's victory. It can be either Tactician or Sky Tier Master, whatever you want to consider it, because he did simultaneously get the lead of a control token inside Dome 3 times, as well as win the lead of a control token 6 times at the same time. So whichever one you want to call it as, doesn't really make too much of a difference here. But that was incredible. So shall we hop in and talk to them about this game?
Yes. Okay, let's switch channels then.
Yeah.
Hello.
Or
You're
Hey.
live.
Hey.
Good game, guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was tough.
Oh my.
Yeah,
It was tough.
I'm so sad.
There
I
wa-
just need, I said to Aethusium, it's so simple. It's so simple. I have 5 cards in my hand, or 6. I don't know why, how many. Maybe 6. I just need 3, and I win the game easily.
Right.
Because
I mean,
because
no, a single
because
one
I
doesn't.
know that I put Takuti and she can't do anything. I just have to win both.
Yeah, but
and I have,
then you
3.
need two free. Oh no, you got one from the flip.
No.
Okay.
I just need the 3. I just need the 3. I just need the 3 in my hand. And the last 4 cards were 3 threes and 1 2. Anzi, last 5 cards. 5 threes, 4 threes and 1 twos. And I just have not to take the 2.
Yeah, that happens. That happens.
Yeah, it's
So
unfortunate.
it was so much unfortunate. Zero ultimate from both Ixatosk and Kotlik.
Well, I mean, they got free.
Which would have been another pretty much free win, because I can spawn 2, then worship, come here, so I can do or clean all the minions. So it was a very, very, very unlucky by drawing the worst cards in the worst situations. But happens in Skyter. But I'm so happy how about my deck worked. So anyway, good game, Aethusium.
Yeah, it was a nice one. Thanks for the game.
Yeah. That's I want to see again this game, because I'm so triggered by this one.
No, I mean that one really wouldn't have mattered, because I had the redirect. So even if you place the pillar before the worship.
I won't say about that. I feel a lot better about this. I feel a lot better about this, but I just need the 3 in 6 cards, and I have Zaragul, how many 3s I have in my deck.
Yes,
so
I know. 13 3-mana cards, so there was a good chance.
I don't have much less than that, I think. You have 13 in addition to the ultimate.
But I need one. I just need one from 6 in, and a third of my cards are 3. So
but you also had played a lot, and you had some played on board, so there was a risk that you wouldn't have all of them.
Indeed.
I mean, at that point, it also boils down to not having made the difference before. Like when you end up being
I know.
reliant on a flip, it's not a situation you like.
As I said, the last 5 cards in my deck were 4 threes and 1 2.
Yeah, I mean that happens.
Yeah, what do you have to do? You just don't have to flip the 2.
Or you can try to not end in that situation also. I mean, you don't want to rely
because
to not
you cannot spawn
card.
here, right? You cannot spawn if you don't have
cannot.
The power
With
the Call of the Power. So
no tower, no spawn.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so good game.
Yeah, it was a nice one. Thanks for the game.
Thank you. You have your revenge after the group stage.
True.
Oh, it was.
That was exciting.
Yeah, really intense. Because we also had to calculate every possibility, and that was really difficult from time to time. Really difficult, and we tried to pretend something, and it was always something else that you did.
Yep.
So
you
always surprised us. So
Yeah, because I at the end I have to gamble just this card because I know that he has the Shafati ultimate in hand for sure, because otherwise he would have conceded the game already. So I know that he has that, and I have to win both lanes. And I just trying to figure it out if I can one shot Shafati.
That would have been awesome to have
Yeah,
shot
that
him
would have been
again. I was,
Yeah, but-
indeed. Yeah, indeed, but it would have been too difficult because I have 10 plus a skirmish, right?
Yes.
10 plus a skirmish.
Crazy.
So
that's ridiculous damage.
13 plus 2 attack. So
Yes.
it's 12 damage for sure, but I have to do 6 damage in 2 flips.
Yes,
Yes,
which
you have
is
to
a
flip
lot.
So-
2 times 3.
And this is because I could have done this. Then I'm here and I return back after the skirmish. So attack, move, attack, skirmish, one shot the Shafati. Then going back here, and then I could have gone with the Ixatosk, the Ixatask here, and take both here.
No, I mean you can even just
can see,
like
yeah.
you can even just send Ishatosk here and it's fine.
But I don't have the worship. So
Oh, yeah.
I have to use this one. So I have to be near this one. So 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, you
4,
could have
5, 6.
moved, attacked, and worship,
Yeah, indeed.
but you can only, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
So
have the
that's
action
a
for
bit
lead.
sad.
Yeah.
So after hours of thinking, the last thing is okay. I just have to gamble here. I won. Just a 3. I have plenty of 3, so I will gamble. I'll take the gamble, and it goes wrong.
And it's a 2.
This it is. But I like Nalaklen. He's gonna kill. He's
Yeah,
a
that was
killer.
nice.
He was a killer this game. So I'm happy.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, it was a
for-
very well
for the
played game by both of you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was a nice one. Definitely.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to bed now.
I'm gonna do the same.
I was gonna say it's like what, 2 in the morning for you?
No, it's
No.
No,
Midnight.
midnight.
it's midnight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And 11 for me. But...
Okay.
Midnight for me. and
So
for King.
thank you guys. Thank you for the stream. I'm sure you are casting a very well and very exciting moments.
Yeah, I'm
And,
pretty sure it's gonna be super enthusiastic to watch the game afterwards.
yeah. I won't watch it because at least now, but maybe some days I will someday I will watch the game again.
It depends
Sarah-
how quickly we fill the Scout your channel with new matches. If we fill it slower than we consume it, then you're gonna end up watching it again someday.
Well,
Yeah,
we
indeed,
definitely
indeed.
have a lot of content coming up this weekend.
Yeah, true.
We plugged it a bit at the beginning, but for anybody who joined us late, we do have the September World Qualifier coming up Saturday at 3:15 Eastern time. I'll let everyone, that's GMT -4. I'll let you guys do the conversion so that I don't look silly on stream and incorrectly doing conversions. And then, of course, on Sunday, Ricardo and I are cooking up a little bit of live action. There is a in-person qualifier for the World Tournament that is being held, and we're going to have a webcam and do some live action streaming there. So please do look forward to that as well.
Yeah. I can wave at you.
Yeah, please do so. I want to see you play in real life.
Yeah,
Yes.
indeed. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I have to go. Bye.
All right.
So
Take
good
care,
night.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, thank you very much for the cast, guys.
Yeah, thank you for playing.
Welcome.
I mean, that was awesome.
That was a really solid game. That was
So just
a lot
finish
of fun
this
to
up.
watch.
so many things where you're like, so many times where I'm like, okay, and now if I move, I'm gonna hit a sinkhole, and that activation is gonna be a fucking waste. So I have to find a way to make it worth, even if there is the sinkhole. And there were like probably quite a few plays that were like not looking so good in terms of high maximum value achieved, but all of them were like intended to
around.
avoid the sinkhole
Yep.
disaster.
And that's part of the thing, sometimes you have to make the suboptimal play so that you don't get completely shut down.
Yeah, I got that lesson learned yesterday.
Okay, so I just end this up. So
Yeah.
thanks everyone for watching, and see you next time on the next stream here on SkyTier channel. So bye bye, have a good night.
See you later, guys. We'll see you on the next tour of duty.
Bye.